The ability to communicate is innate to who we are. From the smallest of organisms to the largest of whales, we each have our own ways of communicating with one another and to the rest of the world. These ways of communicating give us all a certain degree of freedom and power. With that said, our society seems to only focus on a few forms of communication, which revolve around the abilities to hear, speak, read, and write. This can be seen in our attitude towards a child's first words, school readiness, the process of learning a new language, or unfortunately, when there is a lack within these areas of language development and acquisition. In examining how our world works, it is as if there is only room for these few to really flourish. Our everyday patterns of living, learning, and working have all shifted towards these and continue in their direction. But is this really a good thing? What about those who can't hear, speak, read, or write? How are they supposed to experience the freedom and power of communication? When we only focus on the abilities to hear, speak, read, and write, children and those with extra support needs can easily be excluded from the larger society. This is because we focus on what we view as their inability to communicate, when in reality, they aren't unable to communicate. It's just that our society doesn't make room for them to communicate in the ways they already know how. Having thought through the concept of the competent child, we can understand that children are competent in their own ways. These include being able to communicate. Children don't necessarily need to be taught how to communicate. Rather, they need the space to explore their innate ability to do so. Let me introduce to you Loris Malaguzzi. He was an early childhood educator from the town Reggio Emilia in Italy. Instead of focusing on children's inability, he saw the need to create a space where the competent child could have the freedom and power to explore and test out their abilities. The 100 Languages is a poem that he wrote that advocates for this kind of space. As we engage with this poem, let us explore how we can shift our view of what it means to communicate. May we open our eyes and hearts to experience how children communicate with us in their own ways, as they invite us to watch, think, be. The 100 Languages by Loris Malaguzzi, translated by Lela Gandini. No way. The 100 is there. The child is made of 100. The child has 100 languages, 100 hands, 100 thoughts, 100 ways of thinking, of playing, of speaking. 100. Always 100 ways of listening, of marveling, of loving. 100 joys for singing and understanding, 100 worlds to discover, 100 worlds to invent, 100 worlds to dream. The child has 100 languages, and 100 more. But they steal 99. The school and the culture separate the head from the body. They tell the child to think without hands, to do without head, to listen and not to speak, to understand without joy, to love and to marvel only at Easter and Christmas. They tell the child to discover the world already there, and of the 100 they steal 99. They tell the child that work and play, reality and fantasy, science and imagination, sky and earth, reason and dream are things that do not belong together. And thus they tell the child that the 100 is not there. The child says, "No way, the 100 is there."